Hi everybody, my name is Kim. I am making this video because I've seen so many of you guys' videos and they were very inspiring. Just a little bit about myself and my husband. We met about 5 years ago, and we started dating like almost instantly, and we got married 2.5 years ago. And we've just been, not in the beginning of our marriage, I'm not going to say we were trying, because we weren't, but we weren't exactly not trying. Until about 1.5 years ago, when my husband had just been noticing, the little things, like me not always having a cycle each month. And he was like, I just was acting different, and all those things. And he was like, it just reminded him of an ex-girlfriend who had PCOS, and those were the symptoms. At this time, I had no clue what PCOS was, what it did, where it came from. I was clueless about the whole situation. At that point in time, I said, fine, I don't have that, I'm fine, but I'll go get checked if, that'll just make you shut up. So I went and got checked, and come to find out, I did have PCOS. And let me back up just a tad. When we decided to go to our first doctor, which going to doctors is definitely a long and hard journey, so I would tell anybody not to just settle for a doctor, but to find a doctor who can explain things to you and who can really relate to you, who can understand where you're coming from, and to be a little bit of, just have a little bit of sympathy, because what we're going through is, although it's not, a major life disease such as AIDS or breast cancer, it still affects us just like those diseases do. I know, speaking for myself, I definitely felt like less than a woman. I felt like very unwifely, because the thing that my husband and I wanted the most is the one thing that I could not give us. So, I mean, honestly, to go to a doctor who just kind of brushes you off and just tells you, just whatever, to just get the money and move on. Which I found out, like, doctors really do that. Like, I just didn't think they actually did it, but they do. And so going to my first appointment, my first OBGYN appointment, which at the time I was only going for my yearly checkups, and nobody ever said anything to me about that. But I went to my first doctor here, and she was a very nice lady. She was very energetic. She was not very free-flowing with information. So when my husband and I went to her, I was tested for PCOS, and she tested my blood for a lot of other things, and come to find out I did have PCOS, to make a long story short. But after that, she was like, she advised me that she was going to put me on Clomid, which at the time, I had no clue what Clomid was or what it did. I was very just in my little bubble, like, no woman in my family has had issues with bearing a child. So I just figured I would be, along with the group. However, that was very far from the truth, and it just didn't turn out like that for me. So I gotta log in for work, so I'm just trying to pay attention here. I just after talking to her, she was like, I think that the first thing we need to work on is you losing weight. So I said, I agree, so let's do it. So she put me on this diet, which was really cool. I lost about 70 pounds in very quickly, actually, about 4 months. And she was like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start you on the Clomid in a couple more months. I want you to lose about 20 more pounds. So the weight was coming off easy. So I figured, nothing, probably about a month I can lose the 20 pounds, no biggie. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And she was like, oh yeah, she got my husband's hopes up and my hopes up about this whole Clomid situation. And then she ended up moving to another practice, and nobody ever told me. I mean, I called and I emailed and I never got a response. I left messages on their voicemail. I never got a response until I finally just went up there one day and was like, look, I need to see my doctor, so I'm here. And it was like, well, first you need to make an appointment. No, I've been trying to do that, and I haven't been getting a good response, no feedback. And she's like, well, who's your doctor? And I told her, and she said, oh, she's no longer with us. Go figure. So at that point, I got frustrated. I was like, oh, well, you can see another doctor here. I was like, no, I don't want to see another doctor here. I want to see my doctor, the one that I started this journey with. At that point, I just got really, 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 really depressed, to the point where I had lost my job, and things were bad. Like, I was just not even getting up in the morning to focus. Like, it was so hard for me to get up and focus every day, and because I felt like less than a woman. And so my husband, after about 4 months, which is not like me, you guys. I can push forward through anything, but for someone to tell me that I can't be a mother, I can't be a wife, because I can't do the one thing I was put here on, well, not the one thing, but the thing I was put here on this earth to do, was produce, and I couldn't do that. That was a major blow to my everything. And my husband, he was very patient with me. He helped me get out of that slump. And although it took 4 months to do so, he was right there, like, at the end, like, come on, baby, we can do it. Let's not give up. So I found another doctor, and she was like, that's fine. We can put you on the Clomid, And I told her my story. She was like, yeah, we can definitely put you on the Clomid. It's a good idea. I agree. But what I want to do is see if we can lose 40 more pounds. And I told her, well, doc, I tried. I've been doing everything. Doing my Zumba, 5 times a week, and going walking 2 days, walking my 2 miles the other 2 days of the week. So I was doing my part. I plateaued. There was nothing else left for me to do. I tried everything, even as far as going on the diabetic diet, which at the time I had no clue that I was a pre-diabetic, but I tried it because I was willing to try almost anything. I tried the soup diet. I tried the Atkins diet. I tried, you name it, I tried it. Even Slim Fast. Yeah, nothing was helping. Come to find out, when I finally did the research I needed to do months prior on PCOS, I realized that I'm insulin resistant, and that's, generally what PCOS is. It pretty much knocks everything, kind of out of whack, which I was very clueless about. I had no clue that that's what that was. So, after doing the research or whatever, I made it my business to watch what I ate. I cut out the bread, the meat. I cut out the bread, the rice, and fried foods altogether. And my favorite drink, sweet tea. I stopped drinking that. I just drank water. Anything other than water, I wasn't drinking. That didn't help. So that doctor then was like, well, there's nothing we can do until you lose the 20 pounds. And I'm like, doc, I need help. I don't know where else to turn. That's why I'm coming to you, because at this point, I honestly just don't know what else to do. So I, again, attempted to, make phone calls and emails to her office, see if I can get another appointment. Maybe there was something that she can prescribe me. I had read that Metformin helps, and Clomid and all these other things could help me accomplish what I was trying to accomplish. But I got nowhere with her. Except her sending me on a wild goose chase to all these different hospitals, 4 different hospitals to be exact, to be tested for diabetes. And that sounds like my husband. I hope not. He getting off early if it is. But to be tested for diabetes and all this other stuff, which nothing came of it. Obviously, I'm not a diabetic. I am pre-diabetic, so my sugar levels were above where they needed to be. So they were kind of in the range of, watch me. So I was getting nowhere, and I was getting even more frustrated, and things were just, felt like to me getting worse. I felt like I was the only one in the world that was dealing with this problem, and it just had to happen to me. It wasn't until just this past Wednesday, and today is October the 11th. I went to the doctor this past Wednesday, which was the 9th, I want to say. And I found a doctor who, he was like, I know you want to be pregnant, and I know that's your ultimate goal, but we have to work on the weight. And again, I told him, and the one thing he did that the other two doctors did not do, he went into detail as to where PCOS came from, the history of it, what it was originally called. I'm talking about as far back as the 1960s. I never would have imagined, 1940s, I never would have imagined that people back in that age could have experienced what we're experiencing today. So he put me on Metformin. He put me on, I think it's Proverva or something like that. Proverva, whatever that is. Whatever the name of it is. And he also explained it. He explained the side effects. He explained what the possibilities were. He explained everything. I did not leave that doctor's office with one question, and nor did my husband. With that being said, the reason for my video, with all that backstory, there's a purpose, I promise. The reason for that story is just so I wanted to take you guys through my journey. I've seen so many of your journeys, from PCOS, the Metformin, the weight, to actually being able to show us this beautiful child that you have given birth to. So I want to do the same. I want to give other women hope, and I can't predict the future and say that, I'm going to be pregnant, but I have faith. And because the Bible says all I need is mustard seed faith, I have that. I have more than that. So I'm very confident that by the end of this journey, which I promise I'll take you through it all, I'll most definitely let you guys experience this with me. I start both pills tomorrow, and when I get them, I can tell you a little bit more about them and how much I'll be taking and when I'll be taking it. So look for another video for probably Sunday. I'm off Sunday, so look for another video probably Sunday. I go and fill my prescriptions tomorrow, so look out for me, because I'm here with you guys, and I know you guys are here with me. So I'm excited, nervous, and everything else, in between, feeling what I'm feeling about this whole journey. But looking at you guys' story, like I said before, it definitely gives me hope. It makes me feel like there's a world outside of my four walls, and I'm really looking forward to it. So until next time, baby dust. Bye.